What is up, everybody? We are back with another interview. Of course, you guys know me and G already. The TheOtakuFix, we're here. And the man, the myth, the legend himself returns. Brent, how you doing, my guy?
Hey, I'm good. I'm good, everyone.
Man, so it's been a minute. It's been a minute since the last time we all got together, spoke, hung out, and everything. You've been very busy with the success of Ordeal. First off,
Right.
congratulations on all the success you have been having with the series, doing really well. And I guess we can just go ahead and get started. What has the reception been like for Ordeal, you and Ordeal, since becoming an original and going through season one and season two?
Um, it's been great. The original fans have been there from the start, and they've just kept along for the journey. So it's been great. Webtoon has been great to me. I have no complaints at all. So
Mhm. I'm glad it's definitely been a crazy journey. I've seen them, Did they come and visit you? I saw they had like a little video on you. Did they come to visit you or you went towards them? How did that work out?
yeah, they had a short kind of series they were doing where they would go visit some of their original creators that are out to the US. So they checked a bunch of different people, and I was fortunate enough that they considered me as well. And
Mm-hmm.
they came down and they did a short filming or whatever. It was just like a small video interview, I guess, in a sense,
Mm-hmm.
like a kind of documentary kind of thing,
Mm-hmm.
that kind of format. So it was really fun. I actually got to see things in my own country I never saw before. So
Really?
that's great.
Really?
Yeah, that's great. So I mean, it was fun. It wasn't crazy or anything, but it was a good time.
Okay. Okay.
That's crazy. Like, what did you see that you hadn't seen already in your country?
We like went to different places. It's more like the nightlife kind of thing because I haven't been too much involved with nightlife stuff. So
Mm.
some things, some nightlife things that I've never really partaken in before. So that was nice to see.
Oh, right.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So, what are some of the things that you've learned from, the transition from season one to season two?
Uh Pacing. Try
Mm-hmm.
to perfect the pacing because you see, I have a little issue because I work alone. Um, there's only so much I could do in a week because I have to submit every 7 days, right?
Hmm.
So unfortunately, because of that, the episode length is a little shorter than usual. Like just imagine some people have 5 people working on an episode,
Mm-hmm.
right? So there's a certain amount of panels they could accomplish in a week, right? When you're working by yourself, you're kind of limited to how much you can do. So my episodes are a bit shorter. So knowing this, there's no reason to complain. I can just work around it. So the solution to that was kind of to write to write my chapters shorter, of course, but to fit as much as I can in an episode, not forcibly make it, at least feel natural, but fit as much as I could in an episode. So I kind of been learning how to, because I might have an arc, right? Like a particular scene that should finish in one episode. But because I can't draw so much in a week, I'll have to like split it up into 2 episodes. So just learning how to perfect that and my timing so that even though you only got part of the scene in this episode, the rest will come next week. The part that you did get should be interesting enough. So just trying to get the hang of that.
Do you feel like you've perfected it, or just found that happy medium?
Um, I still have a long way to go.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but I am satisfied with. I mean, I am very hard on myself. I was very critical of season one. So for me to say that I'm satisfied with season two,
Mm-hmm.
that's a huge step for me at least. So I'm satisfied with how season two came out, and I marketed it as it was supposed to be much better than season one because I would address all the flaws and whatever errors I would have made before. So I'm satisfied with how season two came out. I think I accomplished the things that I aimed to do. So it ended up being longer than I expected, which wasn't a bad thing because the readers got a little more than they expected. So that was good. I'm satisfied with it.
And was it just the pacing you didn't like about season one? Because I know
Ah,
you also mentioned how you didn't really like the art in season one, and you was like, nah, I gotta
um,
fix that. So was it
yeah.
just the pacing and the art, or was it some other stuff too?
So remember, I was coming from my art style was like fully rendered posters, right? So to like dial that down to a comic style, which is something you could produce weekly because you can't really produce like fully rendered paintings every
Mm-hmm.
episode, right? So to dial it down to cell shading and stuff, I had to like figure it out like my own style. I developed my style. So season one was like me trying to figure out my style and try different things. So to me, it's very messy, at least because I could see the flaws, right?
Mm-hmm.
So to me, season one is messy and trashy, but I guess I shouldn't say that. But season two is supposed to perfect all those errors. So I mean, I am satisfied with the art because I believe my art is more consistent now because I found my niche, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So
And have you ever thought about getting like extra assistants to either help with the storyboarding, the coloring, or shading?
that's definitely something that I've been looking into, especially for season three. I
Mm-hmm.
want to, because I always want to do more. So, like season two had certain things that I did differently, and I would like to increase certain areas, like for example, backgrounds. I want to start using 3D assets, which is supposed to save a lot of time. So I want to get into that, and not really too sure about a lot of different things, different programs that I could use. But for now, I'm starting with 3D modeling.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I've been learning it and trying to teach myself, to try and enhance my workflow. But in terms of assistance, I've been looking at where could an assistant fit into my timeline because I kind of need one.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been definitely looking into it and trying to figure out, what would be, plausible because it doesn't make sense getting an assistant, paying an assistant, and um, I don't really have work for them to do because I kind of don't want them to touch this part. Like,
Mm-hmm.
for example, I don't think I'll be comfortable with somebody else doing the line art.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can set on someone doing the color because the color could be fairly straightforward. I still do a bit technical stuff to the coloring, but it should be straightforward for an assistant too. In terms of the line art, I've seen people who can draw similar to my style, but I don't think anyone would feel that comfortable having somebody else. The line art is like the framework, the bones of the thing,
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't feel too comfortable with somebody else doing the line art, but maybe I have to grow to that. So,
Yeah. Definitely don't want you to overdo it. We've seen a lot of authors, here and there, try and do everything themselves and, end up hurting their wrist or their back. So I definitely say, if you can find, definitely just get some assistance if able to. Definitely want you to stay in perfect health as much as possible.
mm,
So whatever helps you, at the end of the
For
day.
sure, for sure.
yeah.
But so you said you had a couple of big things you want to address from season one, which you did. Was there anything in season two that you had a lot of challenges with, or that you also felt like, even though you were happy with the result of season two, it's still some things you want to kind of tinker with and make better for season three?
Uh, Definitely my um world building, so like backgrounds and environments and stuff. That's something personal. Like for example, I was seeing a lot of manhwa and other comics. They don't really use a lot of backgrounds. This is just my what I've seen. They
Mm-hmm.
don't use a lot of hand-drawn backgrounds or stuff. Use a lot of 3D assets, which are time savers. I could definitely start using that. But for myself, during season two, I was kind of limited because for example, right? If I have to draw like a huge scene in this new environment that I've never shown the readers before, I have
Mm-hmm.
to make sure that I draw the environment in a way that is readable in terms of the people could actually understand what it is they're seeing visually, like where the characters are. So it has to be legible in a sense. The environment. I have to make sure and showcase it properly, right? And that can be very time consuming,
Mm-hmm.
and especially on a time crunch like 7 days, and then you have no assistance. I'm not complaining because I enjoy doing it by myself,
Mm-hmm.
but I honestly have to limit myself, like what I can do. Like I can't really create crazy, outlandish backgrounds and environments because that'll be too time consuming. I can't finish. So
Mm-hmm.
definitely for season 3, I want to be able because I already have ideas for scenes and arcs and particular stories, and I want to get into more environments and just create more visually pleasing backgrounds so the characters feel like they're in realistic spaces. So that's definitely something I want to get into. So um, figuring out what techniques to use is a whole other game. So
Mm-hmm.
you'll see.
Okay. Definitely. All right. I'm down
Yeah.
with that.
So towards the end of season 2, we saw Shay slowly turn to the dark side. We'll see more of that descent into season 3.
Well, season. So I kind of have like a overview setting per season. So season 1 was introduction to Shay and introduction to the world and introduction to the plot, right?
Mm-hmm.
Season 2 is supposed to be um, Shay accepting responsibility, the new responsibility. That's what season 2 is supposed to be about. Accepting all these things that come, and you may think that's too much for one man to take on, but he's accepting more stuff. Season 3, the synopsis for season 3 would be basically like the straw that broke the camel's back. That's supposed to be the season that breaks Shay,
Mm-hmm.
because season 4 is running or running, however you pronounce it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So season 3 is supposed to be what pushes Shay over the edge. So yeah, season 3 is supposed to be really depressing, I guess. Yeah.
So what you're saying is his sister is gonna die in season 3. Okay.
You
Understood.
don't know.
Understood. Low key, I
Don't
thought
know.
you killed her in season 2. I thought you just went in and did to say, Psh, let this be
We'll
it.
see.
We all gonna
You
see.
never know. Yeah.
All right. So in other words, you're finally getting to the point, like you said when we talked to you last. Death is about to start coming in waves.
Yeah. And characters that you kind of don't expect.
Mm-hmm.
Because yeah. So I mean, not just to like throw unnecessary plots into the series, but uh to do it well, like the greats that have done amazing writing,
Mm-hmm.
to have important characters. Even if you kill off an important character, it has to have a good meaning.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've had experiences with watching shows or movies or whatever, and they killed off an important character, and it was hard to continue following the series. I don't know if you've ever experienced
Walking
that.
Dead.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. Walking
I
Dead.
knew exactly what you were talking about. You're like, oh, I'm done. But they kill
Yeah.
Glenn. You're like, I'm done.
I'm not opposed to gritty stories and realistic stories because in real life people die. So I
Mm-hmm.
get it. But when you just do it to just be
Shock value.
different,
Mm-hmm.
oh yeah, just for the shock value, like
Mhm.
it can backfire on you because I continued watching it, but I know a lot of people that stopped watching after certain characters died. Because like this guy is supposed to make it to the end. Like you're killing off the entire original cast, and then you're giving us new characters to follow that we're supposed to care about. So
Yeah.
being mindful of basically who to kill and who not to kill. So that's it.
So that kind of brings me to this question. I don't know if you've done a popularity poll on your series about whose favorite characters and rankings. But just from what you probably, just scoured around and just read comments, who do you think your most popular characters in Ordeal are?
So that's interesting. I know a lot of people like Sapito, right?
Definitely.
A lot of people also, well, everybody has their own
Mm-hmm.
their own fans. Like Azam has his fans, Lewis has his
Sam is
fans,
yeah.
yeah, Kong has his fans, Anton has his fans. So everybody has. Well, who would I think? I believe a lot of people like Shay, even though he's a main character. and I try to build up the other characters so that they can stand interestingly on their own. They don't need the main
Which
character.
in season 2 you did a great job.
Yeah,
You did a great
definitely.
job.
Agreed.
For sure, for
Thanks.
sure.
Yeah,
Like
I try to make,
everybody had their high point where you're just like,
yeah,
dang, like
yeah.
it
You
was
don't
dope.
want one character to be running the show all the time. Like if he's not there, the scene will be boring. So I try to make sure characters are interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But that being said, I still think most people like Shay the most. I believe she is probably the fan favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Next to Sabito and Leo, I think it'll be my opinion. I think it's Sabito, Shay, Leo,
Mm.
or Shay, Sabito, Leo.
In that
Popularity wise, I'm thinking.
okay.
Yeah, I might be wrong.
And for you, who would it be for your favorites so far?
Story wise, Shay.
Mm-hmm.
Usually that is not the case. Usually your main character isn't your favorite, but Shay actually is my favorite character because I have so many um plans for him, so many deep things to do with him. Like I have like the first episode of season 3. I haven't done it yet, but I've already brainstormed it and everything. The first episode of season 3 is supposed to be like a jaw dropping. Like I try to make episodes have like jaw dropping scenes. Like you're supposed to like be shocked, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to have the first episode have this crazy jaw dropping
Dude,
scene
season
about
2 had a lot of jaw dropping moments.
Right.
We're just like, what? Like some of the things that like some of the little nuggets you kind of threw in, you're just like, whoa.
yeah.
Like if you read too fast or something you didn't pay attention, you missed
Mhm.
it. Like some of the things Kaguya said, or
Mm-hmm.
whenever there's a part where he said like Che's not even the strongest like within his group, you're just
Yeah.
like,
And then the brother
mm,
reference and all these other.
yeah.
I mean, I try to do those things, but then there are also questions that I've seen the fans have and the readers have, like particular questions.
Mm-hmm.
And like I know they don't expect me to answer some of them. So like I plan to like just randomly answer them on the first episode of season 3. So
Mm-hmm.
this was like a major question. So it's supposed to be this jaw dropping scene. I hope I write it well. I'll try my best to illustrate it well. So at least it's visually catching. But I have plans. I have a lot of plans. I just a little anxious, because I'm trying to get. Like I can't wait for it to finish, to be over, so I can have it completed. But it's a process, so it's gonna take time. Season 3 took over a year, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Season 2, sorry, took over a year, I believe. So I don't know how long season 3 will go, but it shouldn't be as long as season 2
Mm-hmm.
because we're just trying to get to the time skip, So
Okay.
yeah.
So, can you elaborate more on Che's sister's ability, or is that something that's going to be answered in the beginning of season 3?
Well, to elaborate on it, so in a sense, it's the talent of the snow leopard, which the heir to the throne usually gets the talent,
Mm-hmm.
right? So Sabito got the talent, and he had 2 kids. He was supposed to give it to Shay, but usually, well, he kind of broke the entire rules of the family by stepping out and everything to marry me and all that. So he kind of did his own thing from the beginning, but still held true to protecting his tribe, right? But he passed the talent on to Yukiko, right? So she now has the snow leopard ability,
Mm-hmm.
and it's I didn't show everything that Sabito could do with his talent in the beginning. In the episode that he showcased his combat.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't show everything the talent could do. It still has a lot more things to do, and I did that deliberately because I want to finish exhibiting the talent with Yukiko. So she will showcase the rest. Whatever you've seen Sabito do, she can do, but she can also do more because you haven't seen Sabito do everything as yet. So there's more to show.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, on top of being able to do everything that Sabato was able to do, I know you probably can't answer this because you probably have a certain way you want to set it up and reveal it. But
Mm-hmm.
will she be able to do things that Sabato can never dream of doing?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Of course, yeah. She'll have a whole different training than he did. So
Mm.
she'll develop her own things. Because one thing I tried to show is that they have family techniques that Sabito was taught. So even in the first fight, when Sabito first revealed his talent, he had particular techniques that people were aware of. The guy he was fighting said, "How did he know this? How does he know this ability already? You know, look at his age." So there are certain things that the snow leopard is famous for doing, certain abilities. So and that's because they're trained by the clan. The clan isn't around anymore. So Yukiko has a different trainer. So she's going to learn different things from a different trainer. I'm not telling you who the trainer is, but so, yeah.
I am looking forward to the brother sister tag team duo against somebody and beating them down. I'm looking forward to that. I hope I get to see something like that.
We'll see. You never know.
I hope.
You never know.
I hope.
Gonna be Andrea to be the trainer.
Maybe.
My guess. My guess.
Now that would be your guess too?
Yeah, just because I mean, you know, like the relationship, Theo, you know, like that's how I feel. But, dude, how was the reaction to when Bjorn died, dude? Like from the community.
I was hoping that it would be impactful but not regretted. Like people wouldn't complain, "Oh, he shouldn't have died." I was hoping like he would fulfill what he needed to in the story. That his passing wouldn't feel like a loss; it would feel like an addition to the story. So I believe I, for the most part, accomplished that in terms of how the reaction of the readers was. So I believe they miss Yon, but they still appreciate all he has done, and they could see. I want to make sure that I show well that Shade took a lot of things from him. Like,
Right.
I saw, like, I don't, so I try to write in a way that I don't have to overly explain it to you because that could be very jarring to readers. So I try to put little things like, for example, the first time she smelt chi from a distance was in one of the last episodes of season 2. And that's a technique that only Yon has shown so far in the series. So just that little thing was to show that she has been taking all his training from Yon, you know, so he can now smell chi from a distance as well, just like Yon could. So those little things that I don't have to explain it, but I can just show it and hopefully people pick up on it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you say you've been doing like models and renderings to help, you know, your process in season 3. We've seen a couple of those on Instagram that you've been doing. And of course, for those of you who are not following this man on Instagram, definitely go ahead and do that. So how do you think that process is going learning? And are you planning on doing more with these renderings as far as just putting them into the series, like maybe making some statue figurines, something like that? Is there a path to that, or is this just strictly for the series purposes as of now?
Everything is on the table. Honestly, there's nothing that I'm rejecting. They're all valid things I could get into. It's just time, you know. I have time to do a lot of things. Like for example, merchandise is something people have been asking for since day one, and I know they want it. I'm just trying to find the right time because that's a lot to get into building a big store. That's a lot, and I don't want to start and stop and start and stop. So I kind of, and that's another area I'm looking to get an assistant as well. So just to deal with the whole merchandise thing because I know people have been asking for it. I've been a little slow with doing it, so I know that's on me. But I'm definitely trying to get it done. That's why I gave a ballpark estimation for when season 3 will come, which was 6 months. But it may be longer because, as I told you, I have a lot of things to get done for the series. It's not just personal things. I have a lot of things to get done for the series. So I have a lot of personal things to do as well. Like for example, I'm remodeling my entire room to be a studio. So I have a lot of things to do, and I just want to get myself in a comfortable place to start adding things to audio. Audio has just been a story with a fairly active socials. I'm not so active on social media, but and that's it. So I'm trying to push it. If I'm trying to get an anime at some point, I really need to, do my part and get as much done as I can. So in terms of modeling, 3D modeling, I'm not a model, but in terms of 3D modeling, I'm trying to honestly, the reason why I'm using it is because I'm trying to create assets that I could use in the story. So, for example, I don't know who else is artistic would understand drawing geometric shapes could be really hard at times, especially when you have to redraw geometric shapes, like for example, weapons and guns and shields and swords and sometimes buildings and different things like that could be hard to redraw because you have to use a ruler tool all the time and to get these straight angles, it can be difficult. So if you can 3D model it, it should make your process a little easier because you can just use your render, just like make a PNG and just drag it in. Yeah. Like that's what people do a lot instead of having to draw a gun from different angles every time. That can be stressful.
Yeah. And then making sure that like it's the exact same as the last time you drew it to every little detail. Yeah, for sure.
It would save time. I mean, if you have the time, you could go ahead and do it. But if you don't and you're on a crunch like me, it would save a lot of time.
One man show.
Yeah, definitely looking into that, into 3D modeling for that purpose. However, I'm not opposed to eventually creating my own figurines because I know there are some companies that you could just send them your models and they'll print and ship and sell and stuff for you. So that's definitely in the future. But I was like, again, that's probably like lower on the list of things that have to get done. So, but it's on the list, So yeah.
All right. Everybody expect merchandise. It is coming. He hears you. You don't have to keep leaving comments. He knows it's coming. Just be patient. Be patient. All right. So
go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead, G. Go ahead, man. You got it.
Oh, so let's see, how do you say this? Well, I had a personal question before we even get to more. How did you come up with the technique that the 7 heads use on that on that dude? Because that thing's wild, and like taking one out to like to take one out, you have to give one up. Like how did you
at that?
Exactly. So like, what was it like, man? What was your thought process to like do that and like go into that?
So I'm glad you asked because that the thought process of that is broken up. It's never like from day one I knew I'd have the 7 heads perform this amazing ability. I literally made up that entire ability for season 2, during season 2. Like coming down to when the episode is due, I'm still trying to figure out what I'm doing, right? So
oh wow.
Yeah, and because the reason why I enjoy this is because I enjoy creating new things. So something I do is I always leave open doors. So the first time I introduced code, right? I introduced them as they have 7 heads. I didn't know what they look like. I didn't know what I was going to do. It can really be one guy, but he's referred to as 7 heads. I didn't know, but I just left the door open for in the future. I could come up with something interesting, right? So I just left the title there that there's 7 heads of code, whatever, the guys in suits or whatever. I just showed like silhouettes of people in suits, right? There's these important people. And as I'm going through, I'm thinking, what if they can actually like throw hands? Like, what if they can actually fight? And they're not just, that would be because a lot of people don't like code because the things they have done and the things that they have responsibility over, people don't like them, right? But they're genuine. They try to do things right, but they make a lot of mistakes. So I wanted the heads that it would be good that the quote, the man that speaks the judgment should be the one to swing the sword, right? So they are responsible for a lot of Kimyo, so they should at least be Kimyo that are able to fight as well and partake in the front lines. So, and another thing is power scaling is also very important. So if I have the god tier, right, who are supposed to be the strongest people in the world, why do they submit to code? Like, what does code have? You understand? Like, code has to have something that they're afraid of. Not afraid of, but something that they respect, right? Concept that code should be able to kill a god tier I had to find a way to write that into the series. So, but if I made it one person is able to kill the Gote, then that guy would be technically he'll be number one, right? Because he's one
Yeah,
guy.
for sure.
Mhm.
I had to make it a group to nerf that concept instead of being one guy. Why not make it all 7 of them have to pool their chi and ability together to have one ability that can kill a Gote. So I had to figure out how to do it and try and make it line up with the story what I've written so far.
Mhm.
So that's fun. I enjoy doing stuff like that. Right. So that's why I would introduce characters and just give them a relation to somebody that you've met before, and in the future I'll add to it. So
Mm.
that's fun. So I introduced the 7 heads, and I did that almost 2 years ago, and I added to it this season, and I was able to finish that in a satisfying way, at least for me.
Mhm.
So that's one of the fun parts of writing is never close off your ends.
Mhm.
Always leave room to add to the story additional content and these different things. So that ability was just it had to make sense. Something that could kill a Gote, but these individuals are not Gote themselves. So obviously they all have to pull together to fight in order to submit this character to the judgment, right? So
Mhm.
Yeah,
that was the idea.
that's dope. And another question that's on that. Will it be explained how they go about picking who become the 7 heads? Because now
That was
you
gonna
need
be my
7.
next question.
You need 7 to do this ritual per se, right? So
Mhm.
like, how does how do you pick who the 7 are? Like, what's the criteria, or or what characteristics they look into like a person to join the 7 per se?
Episode either between episode 1 and 2, you'll see the new 7th head of code. So yeah, that's definitely
Nugget, y'all, nuggets.
Hey man,
yeah.
you gotta replace them quickly.
Yeah, dude.
Gotta be quick.
Because everybody
And
knows right now that code is down of their special ability,
Mhm.
right?
yeah,
And another thing that I said was that the ability can only work with 7 people of close relation. So the 7 heads of code have a tight bond.
Mhm.
So they need to find a new member quickly that would respect them and want to be part of it because they have to build a
that makes
bond.
sense.
Mhm.
So they need to find somebody quickly to join them and build a bond with them. Otherwise,
That's
they're
why
down.
Nico's in it, right? Like
Mhm.
Nico and Ross, like they're all like kind of
They're
like
all close. That's why
and family ties and stuff like that,
Yeah.
right?
yeah, when somebody dies, they feel it because it's a sacrifice to be able to destroy anybody. Like
Mhm.
that's a lot of power, right? They can kill anyone with that ability, right? That being said, writing this creates a nice dilemma. Not a bad, but a nice dilemma for me to try and figure out how to write around it. Because if they can technically kill anyone, then they can end the series.
Mhm.
So I need to find a way to write around that ability, nerf it in some way that makes sense to help flow the story. So there's more interesting things to do with that. So
Man,
Oh
that's
man,
crazy.
so many
That's
nuggets just now.
crazy.
So many nuggets. I'm waiting.
Ooh.
That I don't know if you'll do it, but arc I can see you doing. Not saying you will, but I can just see it. The destruction of coal, where you just cut off that whole thing to get rid of that ability. Just
I,
just for like a war purpose, and like, okay, we
I,
take out them, we know we can't die. We just got to deal with.
Yeah, because that's a super trump card. Like,
Yeah, that's a super trump card.
oh God, but the thing is, I wanted them to not just be like this powerful guy. Like if you get rid of them, you're good to go.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted them to actually be important to the series. So that's why they're related to the main cast. Like
Mm-hmm.
Ross is related to Shay, uncle, right? So
Mhm.
I want them to
And
be
so is
important.
Nico.
Yeah, to be important to the cast, that they have a part to play, and they will be partaking in the fight to come. So yeah. So I have a plan for them, and each group has a plan for its arc, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I have to finish it at some point, right? So I have a plan for them already. So it's just how to
Mm.
one thing, and there are a lot of other issues. I don't want to spoil anything, so let
Mm-hmm.
me
Of course, of
stop
course,
talking.
of course.
But there are a lot of things to get into that have opened up, right? So yeah.
Will we see
Because
more of the seven heads like individually have moments?
not necessarily more together because they're supposed to be always together.
Mhm.
So anytime you really see more of Code, you'll see a lot of them together. So you wouldn't really see Ross by himself. If he's by himself, he might be Nico is close by or whatever. So it's more like their family. So technically, they're always together.
Mhm.
So you'll get more seven head time. Yeah, you'll get more time with them. Yeah, for sure.
Mm.
Okay. So we know you said a lot of death is coming in season 3. Other than that, what can fans expect in season 3?
So I had this fun fact. I had this crazy fight. Like I still have the fight. I just have to figure out what season to put it in, right? I had this crazy fight to put. I was going to put it in season 2, season 3. Sorry, I was going to put it in the season coming, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the fight ends in a death, right? But the season already has a lot of death of important characters, and I didn't want the death of this new character to overshadow the death of the other character, right? So I didn't want it to be in the same season, and then to take a lot of time to have that fight because that's supposed to be like a huge fight, right? So I didn't want that. So I'm honestly thinking of scrapping that fight from season 3 and putting it in season 4 so I could spend more time with it and just focus on the death that is coming in season 3. Just focus on it instead of adding too much. So it kind of adds a little more problems to me because now I have to figure out how to do it in the future when I was going to do it now. So, but I'll figure it out. Okay,
Man, storyboard probably looks crazy, dude.
Right.
Storyboard probably looks crazy.
Points is bullet points, and I just add in between where I think something else could fit. But in terms of what people could look forward to is, I don't know how many other creators do this, but I'd advise that everyone does is read the comments and listen to the fans, listen to the readers and what they like. Like I might be interested in showing more of a particular character, but fans could care more about the other guy. So I should really show him more instead.
Anton.
Yeah. People love Anton, so that's why I gave him that nice moment in season 2, right?
Yeah,
So,
but whew.
yeah, I try to give what the fans like because I'm writing the story, but they're saying what's the best part. So I just have to touch up on the best parts that they like the most, right? So I know a lot of people want to see more of Kevin Morales, want to see more of Yukiko, who want to see what is happening with Abel right now. It's kind of and even people liked before, but they love now is Inspector Ian.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was gonna ask you about that because
that ended with him. Jeez.
Yeah, dude. And how was he chosen? Like, what was that about? Like, what made you pick Ian?
Yeah, that was she. She chose him. Yeah,
I'm saying, like, for you though, for you, like,
what made you choose Ian?
What made me choose him? It was always a plan that, like, when you create a world, right? Like a story, there's certain things that everybody will wonder about, and I there was this big thing that everybody wondered about, and I chose Ian to do it with, and it was what will happen if a human became a Kimyo in Ordeal. That's like a question everybody was gonna have. Like, can humans just stay human forever? What happens if a human becomes a Kimyo in some form that's not conventional? So I wanted that concept, and I chose Ian to do it with because he's probably the most popular human in the series, right? In terms like who else is loved and important to the story other than Ian and Brandon and what other humans are there, right? Well, Yukiko ex-human, but so I chose him because I wanted him to get something that he deserved. So the whole
because he didn't care, dude. Like he knew he was like outmatched, and he would still like go head in, dude, on whoever was the enemy, bro, at the point in time. Like I love that about Ian.
Yeah, the concept is that he gained when he was willing to lose. So when he was willing to, because he was willing to suicide, right? With the serum, he was willing to suicide for everybody, and just the concept of that, he gained a better life instead of losing his life. So that's supposed to be that concept.
So will he always need his powers to walk around now, or will? Okay. So when he's not using it, he's gonna be in a wheelchair.
No, he's gonna always have glowing feet.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
Well, it's always on. It's not something he just like down and then he's like you say he's in a wheelchair. He's Professor Xavier, and then
right.
I didn't want to do the wheelchair thing for a guy who's that active. So.
That's what I mean. Like he's always like on the front line, like ready to go. It doesn't matter. Like he's outmatched. He knows the whole squad's outmatched, and his integrity and his fearlessness, bro, just like leads everything, and his belief. So you could tell. And it couldn't be a better person, I guess, like from the human standpoint, to be chosen to become a Kimyo, because a lot of other humans are assholes. So that. Oh, never mind. I could go on, dude. Oh man. Yeah, but he's the perfect one. But so I thought it was dope. That was like one of the coolest parts in season 2, for sure.
Yeah. Now for the power leveling fans out there, what are we looking at? Because I've seen a couple of groups online trying to get the whole power scaling, who's here, who's there, especially now with Ian with his power. Can you speak more to those people and kind of give them a brief
and tell us why Ian is in the top 10?
Is he top 10, top 20?
No, explain to us why he's in the top 10.
Oh, you think he is?
Oh, for sure, dude.
I mean, I do too, but some people might, disagree given what they've seen thus far. So,
what do you think the next step for Inspector Ian is? Think of it like
I think he's going to be after the explosion and everything at the stadium. I think he's going to be more of just like a protector of like the people, as if he already was, but like now he's more on a grander scale, right? So, like I just see him helping out the main group, the Cubs, but also just still like remaining in that role as like the inspector, but just like now he can protect a lot more than just his current unit. You know what I'm saying? Like I think he'll move into like a bigger saying that, but maybe even higher than that, because
I think that too. Yeah, I think that too, but also maybe going more towards a darker and grander scale of, okay, I have this power now. I have to protect more people. Well, I'm able to protect more people. And if Code or maybe someone else is doing something I disagree with, to try
like the ones that blew the stadium up.
Yeah, to try and take over, or either one for my own,
special task force.
Yes, task force to stop this particular group, or just take over the current group that's already in power.
Yeah, because the hierarchy now is kind of jacked up, like at least with the government, right? Because you had the ones that were completely for kind of blowing the arena up, and then the ones that are not. And then if you didn't, it was like either be with us or die, pretty much, like because.
So as because pure able, as man, but as pure as Ian is, I do see that dark side of it coming. Like, okay, I have to, eventually.
Righteousness, right?
Righteousness takes over, but it turns twisted because of the power and the righteousness. But that could just be me, just being, real dark about everything.
No, you're right though, because now he has to look at it too, that now he's actually like a Kimyo, so he has to also kind of side with the Kimyos more so than the humans, because no matter how we look at it, the humans are looked at a certain way and the Kimyos are looked at a certain way, right? Yeah. So humans fear them, and he's always been on the side of possibly fearing the Kimyos, but respecting them and knowing what they can do when they're used in the right way, right? Like they're used as weapons in a sense, right? But used in the right way. So him having to like kind of lean more to the Kimyo now, because they're like, yo, you're one of us now, bro. Like he can't do plot that
twist.
Within his
plot twist. He throws the humans away and sides with the Kimyos on everything now. Humans are no more.
His allegiance to humans is still there.
Not anymore.
Yeah, but you're missing the main point. Like those are some great ideas and concepts and whatever, but you're missing the main point. Like in terms of the writing, like him as a character is now supposedly extremely powerful, right? is another issue that can end the series.
Mm.
So how do I deal with it as a powerhouse? In a sense. Inspector Ian's next major battle is a legal battle. He broke Code's greatest law. The only people that knew about it was Ross and Shay.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. So maybe he still has help though because of the people that plan that, right? So
yeah, but nobody knows. All they know is
that's
that
true.
he just took the serum and broke that the god had no right to touch the serum, and he
But they can't even do anything to him. So
yes, they can. He's a righteous guy, so he's not going to resist. He's going to.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Accept. So his next battle is a legal battle. He has to answer to all of Code's affiliates and all of the government officials that have been spent money to protect that box and all this. So he has a lot of people to answer to. So season 3 is
I didn't even think about that part, bro. That's
so, like,
crazy.
all the stuff after he has to deal with that first. He's right now technically he's arrested. You know, like he just broke a lot of laws. And if they can't confine him, well, you know, Pat knows. But he's a good guy, so we'll see how it goes, right?
See, I'm always thinking towards the darkest side of things. I was just really like, man, look, he has to go this way, man. It's only a couple of ways he can go from here, but
yeah,
because he's so righteous, and it kind of throws like your whole mindset into what you're conventionally taught and or seen from people who goes through this this certain scenario.
Yeah, that's just crazy. I couldn't imagine him trying to throw him in Patmos there. Like, hey, you go over there, bro. Like yeah, get you in here.
I'll stay because I want to now. Because
he'll probably be the warden at that point. Like, you just take over because they respect him so much. And then I think he can't go to Patmos, right? Because that's just all prisoners, bro. That he probably put there. Like,
what they gonna do?
Yeah, that
what they gonna do, G?
Yeah, that's crazy.
They gonna jump him.
He's gonna have to be sent away to a planet, bro. Like
sent to the moon.
Kevin, yeah, chill over there.
We'll see.
All right. So so now that we kind of get an idea of Ian as far as where you see him on the power scaling, what about the rest of the main cast? We won't have to go with every single character, but at least the main cast. Where would you rank them for those people who are arguing about this person stronger, this person stronger?
I can't really give a ranking
as of season 2. As of season 2, you don't have to say what's going to happen future wise, but at the end of season 2, where do they rank?
At the end of season 2,
yeah.
How do I say this without spoilers? Anton is still supposedly the strongest. That's the last that Yon said, right? That Anton is the strongest, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? And then technically after him would be Andrea, because she's the top 150, whereas the rest of them are not. Right? And then you would think she and then Tevin, right? In terms of season 2's characters, right? But at the end of the season, we noticed that she was on par with the Shadow, right? Only Yon had to come and finish him off, but he was surviving. Let's say he survived the fight with the Shadow. Like, so we don't know how successful the other guys would have been in a one-on-one against the Shadow. I mean, she does have a little cheat card in the sense that the poison of Val's blood doesn't affect him because Helios could burn the cells, right? So if he gets cut, he's not affected. As Rokash wasn't affected by cuts as well because he gold. His skin, that's it. This is Sunfire and gold, right? To Val's technique, right? So Shay was unaffected and Rokash was unaffected. So they did have a little cheat against Val, right? But she still survived a one-on-one with the rank 0. And she's still training. She got his power like yesterday, right? So he's still in training, right? And we already know that she's going to be the strongest guy in the series. We already know this. So the journey is that he starts at the bottom. So I can't tell you that he's the strongest yet, because he's still learning. Right? The others have been Kimyos their whole life, and they are training just as hard as he is. right? So
And we've seen a lot of jumps in power, like especially with Tevin. I feel like Tevin made the one of the biggest leaps in the series.
yeah, Tevin has a lot to accomplish as well because we already know he's going to enter the God tier, right? So everybody has a lot to do in terms of ranking them. I would say they're all at the same level. Like if they had a battle royale, they would just like all like die. So I wouldn't put them at a ranking yet. However,
Well,
Drea has one arm girl.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Her ranking and everything kind of changes now, right? With that arm being gone
And we'll see in season 3.
and her resolve.
We'll see what she does. So, yeah.
Oh man. Oh man. So many questions.
I can't wait to see Tevin, God tier Tevin. That's gonna be awesome.
That's gonna be broken.
Yeah,
It's gonna be beautiful though. Also at the same time.
straight like Immortal Hydnid with his beast form or something crazy.
Man, I'm just thinking of possible forms he can have.
Right.
All right. So we know you kind of mentioned this earlier. So you're saying you originally expected 6 months to season 3, but it might be a little longer. So is it safe to say fans can expect season 3 maybe like a year and a half?
At least this year.
That man just said might be. Did you hear that man say you doing the studio?
Hey, I'm asking if it's gonna be this year. I don't care about what he's doing.
Yeah, at least I'm aiming for this year. It definitely has to be this year. I mean, I wouldn't make people wait so long, but I have a lot of things to give the fans in the meantime while you wait. Like for example, there's a project I'm working on, and just to be blunt, it's another series.
Okay.
So we'll see. So I have a lot of things to do in the meantime.
Is the series tied into Ordeal, like side story stuff?
Yeah, that's how.
Just a whole other
separate
series.
entity. Okay.
Yeah, that I've been teasing on Instagram. So I will give more detail on that this coming week or whatever. So yeah, I have more plans.
Is that going to be already an original, or is that something you have to probably
just like a canvas thing, or
just a canvas? Because I wouldn't be able to work on it while I'm working on audio. So I'll probably just a prologue, right? So you'll see how that goes.
Okay,
but I'll let you know, of course.
And by any chance, would this series have to do with a griffin and a guy with a
Correct.
Okay,
Correct.
all right. Just making sure. All right.
Yeah.
So, before we wrap up, I do have some fan questions for you that some fans have asked me to ask you that they want answered. Of course, I know you're not going to be able to answer all of these. And you've already kind of answered some of these already just through our talk, but just to be fair to them, I'm going to ask anyway. First question. Anime coming soon? Yes, no, when?
In the works.
And why? Pretty much the question.
If I had an anime deal, I would be so vocal about that. Everybody would know. I can't keep that a secret. So honestly, it is my dream. It is what I'm working towards. It is what I would like to happen. So I'm definitely looking for that, right? So it's my plan. It's what I'm actually striving towards. But obviously, they have to want me. So I have to produce good work and hope that a company would like to work on audio because that costs money, right? So,
right.
I know a lot of people are talking about starting a GoFundMe to animate audio, which, as I said, nothing is off the table. So I could probably look into doing that as well.
Okay. All right. Next question. Is Che the final boss?
Yes.
Okay. Will there be a print version of Ordeal soon?
Soon? No. But is it in the future? Yes. Definitely. That's a lot of work to get that set to print. But I'm not against it. Definitely.
I can't wait. I'm buying everything.
Right.
Yeah. definitely. But
That's a must have in a collection.
right now I can't really work on that right now. So yeah, but definitely.
Okay. And this one you already spoke on merchandise.
Coming soon.
Coming soon. Okay.
Yeah.
Will Kevin's black hole feat will be near peak of what we see in terms of power, or if other characters will or have surpassed him in the past?
Will or have? Okay, that's an interesting question. Yes, characters have surpassed him in the past. Will characters surpass him? In terms of feats, I haven't written a feat greater than that as yet, but I have feats equally as like I have this feat for Shay that is supposed to almost make no sense. It's going to be so broken that it's going to like you're not going to be able to understand it, but I'm going to try to make it visually as like what the heck kind of thing. So I have a feat for him as well, but I haven't
Bro,
written anything.
Chase, his little sunball is already a feat, bro. Like,
Yeah.
like the damage that thing does when it's like this big, bro, it's crazy.
Yeah, and I want to get into more about
Spirit
it,
bomb in his hand.
you know, like it has its own gravitational pull, so like it can't really dodge it, you know. So I want to get more into that as well. So
okay,
yeah.
How many seasons are you anticipating for Ordeal now that season 2 is over?
6 in total is the plan. If I have to put more into a season, I'll just extend the season, maybe take a break, and then come back and finish off like part 1, part 2 of season, whatever it is. But the intention is 6 seasons because it's supposed to be 3 before time skip and 3 after time skip. So 3 to get to the point of running, and then 3 seasons of running. So
yeah. Okay. Ooh, we get 3 of running. Let's go.
Yeah. And of course, the next question is, when will the future arc begin?
Season 4.
Season 4.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Or
you just
start of, well, technically the present arc, because season 1 to 3 is a flashback in a sense. The present day is future running. So, if that makes sense.
Let's see. Will Chase's sister become a god tier, even though she's young?
I don't know.
I like that answer though. He's like, damn, like I ain't even thought that far yet.
I don't know. Do you already have the ending for Ordeal mapped out, or is it something that's coming to you the more you write?
Yeah, and is it changing? Like you already had it, but then did it change because of something that you thought of like mid-season or something?
I could actually give you the date that I wrote it, but I just have to like go through my phone to find it. But I wrote the ending for Ordeal already, like the entire scene, like how it happens, what Shay does, like how it, like I already wrote the ending. So, and I like it so much that I have no intentions to change it. If anything has to change, I'm obviously open to it. But I already wrote the ending of Ordeal, like the final episode, like the final scene, everything. I'm just figuring out how to fit everything to get to that point.
Get to that part, right?
I don't want to alter it because I like it. I think it's great. I think it's like if I had like a crazy jaw dropping moment, and as soon as you catch yourself, like another crazy jaw dropping thing happens. Yeah, like that. So I think that's good enough. So I don't want to change it because it's supposed to like shock you twice back to back in a row. So yeah, so it's supposed to be good. So I don't want to change it.
All right, I like that. And this is my question. I know you read the comments of Ordeal. I know you probably, pay attention to the Discord and the group chat on Twitter and stuff. Has any fans of the series put in, or ever said any idea on what you could do for the story? And if so, did you like it so much that you thought about or already have implemented it into the story?
People have been suggesting some crazy things.
Yeah.
Like crazy things. But people have pointed out things that I didn't even see. That I wrote, and because I have so many things I'm doing, like I didn't realize there was a correlation between 2 particular points, and I didn't see it, but the readers pointed it out. So I was like, oh, so I continued writing on that. So definitely credit to the community for pointing out things and making suggestions, because I definitely take suggestions to heart and I write it into the story. So yes, I've seen readers have been asking for certain things or they suggest something and I say, I didn't even see that that's what I did. So I kind of just add to it and I definitely listen to the readers. Definitely do. And I take their suggestions too, in terms of story wise as well.
Okay.
Yeah. That's why I went out my way to make sure that the community makes characters for the series. So that's why I had them make not too many characters because I have a lot of ideas I just need to get rid of. So I don't have a lot of characters that need to be designed. So that's why I had the community design the 10th Lord as well as the hand for Reed Haven.
So you hear that, G? That means me and you gotta design ourselves so we can get
Got you.
into either season 3 or season 4.
I'm just trying to be foddered, bro. Just put me in everything. I can take an explosion real quick, just die from the battle. Just
Can I be like one of the jurors or one of the reporters that's gonna be in the court for when Ian goes and try to explain
just put us both as the reporters
Yeah.
like this, like our mics like.
I mean, there are people that need to die like horrible deaths. So yeah.
There, I'll take it.
We'll both die horrible deaths.
Yeah.
It's real good, don't worry.
Just blow me in half, dude.
Not blow your half.
Just blow me in half, bro. Just do like an explosion. All you see is like 3 locks left on the ground.
Just have me going out saying something cool. I'll be fine. Just I'll be a meme going out and just saying something cool. I'll be fine with that. But all right, that's all we really have for you, man. Do you have any questions for us as fans or questions for fans out there who will watch this once it airs?
Keep giving me a feedback. Yeah, keep commenting and telling me what you don't like, what you like, how you think it's heading, because it's never good when you're making mistakes and everybody's staying silent, you know. So I'm always open to criticism and I take it. I take it all the time. I'm open to it. Not all criticism makes sense, but I open it up, so I can handle it. Right? Feel free to share audio, I guess. You know, be trying to get an anime. So I definitely need to like all it takes, like I've said this all the time, like I'm patient because all it takes is the right person to see audio once.
Yeah,
with the right connection. Like that's all it honestly takes. So I'm definitely patient, however long that takes. If I have to wait for it, that's fine, I don't mind. So God willing, whenever that comes, if it's God's will, I'll be good. So I'll be happy.
Don't worry, I will.
It's coming.
I will be sending this to Naver, so they will definitely hear from me. They will hear from me. God damn it! I got something to do with it. If I do have something to do with it, I'll definitely let you know and say, "See, it was all me. I did it."
Wonderful. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I think it got a better chance happening now more than ever because we've seen more of the webtoons come, you know, to anime. So
and season 2 definitely blew up.
You know,
yeah.
It's definitely the right company. Like you don't want to butcher the series, you know. So I'm open, but not to anything. You know what I mean?
Right. Who will be your? Who will be your preference?
Is it still affordable?
Yeah, and I'm definitely open. I mean, this is if they want me, of course. Obviously, I want that, but if they want me, like if Mappa,
I think Mappa's the perfect studio for the series, though.
Stuff and Studio Period, I believe it's pronounced as well. I believe they did the Avatar series. I really love the way they do elements and stuff. So I'd be just waiting, you know.
Yeah,
it's definitely gonna come. Anything else you want to ask G before we head out?
Nah, I kind of got my answers I was looking for because the 7-head power, bro, like that move. I was just like, yo, what the hell, yo?
That was insane. That was definitely insane. All right, man. But
and how Ross just like changed his arms, got all that like inscription on it, and then that freaking piece of rock just like levitate. I was like, yo, where are we going with this, dude?
I'm just glad
crazy.
my boy Ian got some legs now, man. I was worried for him. I was hoping he wasn't gonna be.
No,
in the
and then just the improvement to Brandon too, like as a character, dude. His growth was crazy. Cause he was like first season, he was like kind of like I was like, man, who's this fool? Like, you know, like he was like it was like he was like a bat carrier, bro. Like just running behind him, like I'm coming, guys. Like don't forget about me. And then next thing you know, he's just badass fighting back and like pretty much like almost like on In's level, dude. When it comes to fighting against the Kimyo.
He was a good teacher. Yeah.
Oh, for sure,
definitely. But all right, man, that's it. We're gonna let you go. Get back to your vacation. Thank you again for making some time for us to come and sit and talk. Hopefully, we can get you back on after season 3 when the time skip will be coming, and we're gonna keep pushing for that anime for you for Ordeal, man. We're gonna keep pushing for it. Community will push for it, and
you know, you got full support from our channel,
yeah,
so
you already know. You already know we got you, man. You already know.
Mm-hmm.
Anything.
All
right, man. That's it for us. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to sub to Ordeal. Of course, the link for that will be in the description. Sub to the channel, share Ordeal out, share the channel out, and we will catch you guys next time. Peace.